In 2012, I was bit by a tick. I got Rocky Mountain spotted fever. My body almost shut down on me twice. I remember accepting I was going to die. I also remember thinking I had to be strong for my family. This one time in particular, I remember I was out having a sub sandwich and I was on the phone with my mom. We were discussing my flower arrangements for my funeral. I did not let her know that I was upset because if she knew, she would have had a meltdown on the phone. It was a really close call, but my doctor saved my life. I still have nerve damage in 100% of my joints. My story is an example of Kohlberg's universal principles, which is morality is based on principles that transcend mutual benefit because it comforted my mother for her to be able to think I was handling things okay mentally, and it comforted me knowing that I could somehow comfort her. My story also shows Gilligan's conventional theory, which is self-sacrifice is goodness, because I felt noble thinking I was sacrificing myself for the greater good of my mother. I was suffering in silence. I was being strong for her, even though I was an emotional wreck.
We're all stars now in the dope show.
Combined with the Rocky Mountain spotted fever, my body was not able to handle the drugs I was putting in it, and I overdosed in this building on campus. I believe the only reason I didn't die was because God decided it wasn't my time. I died in the shower, and there was nobody around to help me. I decided in 2016 enough was enough, and it was time to get help. I was in rehab for over 4 months. I plan on using this experience to my advantage. It is not an experience everyone has, and I plan to use it to educate other people. Perry's theory of commitment, which states acceptance of uncertainty is part of life. During this stage, students use the combination of personal experience and evidence learned from outside sources to arrive at conclusions. I believe my story illustrates this because during this time I learned that not all addicts are bad people. I never stopped caring about people. Addicts are looked at as bad people or thieves or other negative stigma, and it's not always true. Eventually, I realized I was going to die soon if I did not get help. I realized the people I was hurting deserved better from me. I had to change my ways. This is an example of Gilligan's post-conventional theory, which is the principle of nonviolence. Do not hurt others or yourself.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now my whole team here.
Later that same year, 2016, I finally went back to school. My credits and GPA had suffered tremendously, and I was not even considered finished with my freshman year at IU. I realized I had forgotten a lot of stuff, and my self-esteem went down. I'm working on it, and today I feel a lot better about myself. In the past, the longest I had held a job was 3 months. I have been working at Wilkie's C-Store for over 3 semesters now. This is my 4th. I have gotten a raise, have been responsible for training several new employees, and am being considered for a supervisor position starting in August if I choose to take it. I am guaranteed another raise regardless. I am very proud of myself. I am very professional around my customers, and I follow the rules. Perry's dualism is the belief that every problem is solvable, that students are to learn the right answers, and that one must obey authorities. I knew that I could change my life and go back to school. I knew there was a solution. I was ready to grow up and stop fighting rules and regulations. Kohlberg's authority in social order theory is orientated towards fixed rules. The purpose of morality is maintaining the social order. Interpersonal accord is expanded to include the entire society. I follow the rules at work, both for my sake and for the customer's sake.
Man, I love college. Do I really have to graduate, or can I just stay here for the rest of my life?